Hello everybody, welcome to another episode of Learn to Live with BJW, and I want to welcome you all back to our little humble abode here in the side of the mountain. You can hear the spiders in the background, but yeah, here we go. I think today we are going to focus on mining. We're going to go down in the caves. You can see we've got some ores right there, but before we get too far into that, I think I really enjoyed the way that it worked out showing you guys all the lumber and the wood that you could get with our little creative corner here. And so I went ahead and I got all the ores in the game, that you have access to mine underground. And I thought I'd show you all basically how they exist in the game and how you get them and what they look like before we start digging them out of the mountain. So as you can see here, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 ores essentially in the game that you can get underground, and we'll start down here with maybe probably the most common and kind of work our way down to the least common for the most part. Some of these might not quite be in order depending on just the way that you mine and the way you cave and things like that. So anyway, we're gonna start with coal. As you can see, it's this black ore, and when you combine the ore, nine ore in what'd you call that, actually the 9 what do they call that, just coal ore chunks into a single block, you can actually get a coal block. And I went ahead and I put these chests down here so I could show you inside of there what it looks like. A coal ore block, this is what it would look like if you got it with a silk touch pick. And we'll talk a lot more about enchanting in a later episode, or maybe even a little bit today about what the advantages are of that. But that's what it would look like if you were to pick it up. But with a regular pick and the cheapest or the most simple pick that you can use to get ore out of the ground is a wood pick, which we've already got. We had a wood pick and we've already upgraded to stone pick. And you just chop the block with that pick and it'll drop these coal chunks. And again, you can use 9 of them to create a block in a crafting bench. You just lay all 9 of them in there and it'll create a block for you. The other thing, I went ahead and put this in here as well. This is charcoal. This is if you burn wood in a furnace, you can get charcoal, and it does the same thing that coal does for the most point anyway. Our next one here is iron, and you can use iron. I was gonna say you can use coal for fuel. That's really all you could use it for. You can also use it to color things. Actually, I take that back. That's not true. You use squid ink to color things black, not coal. But anyway, you've got iron, which is probably the second most common. Sometimes you'll find surface coal or iron on occasion, especially in extreme hills, which we're right next to some extreme hills. Occasionally you'll find them on the surface, but these can be crafted into blocks as well. The difference between this one is you need a stone pick at a minimum to get iron ore out. If you use a wood pick, it'll just break the block and you won't get your ore, so you need a stone pick at the very least. And then the ore, when you pull it out of the ground, it looks exactly like this, and you need to put it into a furnace and cook it to get your ingot out of it. And then you can use 9 ingots to make a block of iron. And that's a really good way to store it as you start to get more and more iron. Then we run on to redstone, and you'll hear a lot of people talking about redstone devices, and we'll be actually doing a fair amount of this later on, I think. Maybe not as much in this series as I do in my build on series, but we'll still be doing some of it. But a lot of it is power source. You can use it to create all the wires and lines like that to do those things. And the other thing that's kind of neat about it, as you can see as we walk across it, all these particles that are coming off of it in a dark cave, that'll actually light up the cave for a little while. It'll stop doing anything after a little bit, but it'll do those particles for a little bit. Again, when you have to use a silk touch pick to get it out as a block of ore. Otherwise, when you hit it with a iron pick or better, it'll just drop redstone, and you'll get multiple redstone per block usually. I forget the ratio. I think it's usually 1 to 3 in that range. And then again, you can craft that using 9 redstone to create a block of redstone. And there's some real interesting, unique advantages to these blocks of redstones and how they function in the game, more so than blocks for anything else. And hopefully we get a chance to talk about that a little bit more later. And then of course we have gold that could be used for armors and tools, just like iron and diamond. Those are the only 3, iron, gold, and diamond, that is craftable in, as far as ores go, into armor and tools. And you can also, there's also gold. You can use ingots, or I forget what it's called. Let's see what it does here. So you can actually, there's different forms of this. You can also break an ingot down into gold nuggets. So there's 9 nuggets per ingot, and then there's 9 ingots per block. So it would take 9 of those to create a block. And again, this is one that when you break the ore out of the ground, it stays a block of ore, and you have to cook it in the furnace again, and that'll give you a single ingot per piece of gold ore. Again, you have to use an iron pickaxe or better to get it out of the ground. Lapis, for a long time, was really kind of a useless blue block. That didn't do you a whole lot of good, but with 1.8, it became an integral part of enchanting, and so it's actually a pretty important block. And when you break it, it drops lapis lazuli, and a lot of times it'll actually drop several per block of ore. And I want to say it's 8 is the max that you can get out of each one, especially if you're using a fortune pick or something like that. You can get a lot more out of a single block than you can many of the other ores. In this case, you can actually use a stone pickaxe or better to get that out of the ground. And again, you can craft it into blocks for easy storage if you need to. Our second to last one here is emeralds, and these are really actually, I think these may be the most rare ore in the game. The only place you can find them, I believe, and I would have to go check the wiki to make sure of this, is in Extreme Hills, which again we are by, and so you can. That's the only place that you can actually get it out of the ground. And when you mine it with an iron pickaxe or better, it will drop the emerald. So you don't need to cook it or anything like that. And in fact, if you use a fortune pick, I think you can get up to 3 emeralds out of a single block. And most often in the game, you're only going to find it as a single block of ore. You're never, or I should say rarely, going to find it as multiple blocks next to each other. And that may even be never. Not 100% sure. But the other way you can get emeralds, of course, is trading with villagers. And we'll have a whole, probably couple of episodes on villager trading, especially when we get them, get a village going someplace. And then our last ore for today is going to be diamond. And again, this is probably the most valuable ore in the game. It gives you the best armor and the best tools, and when enchanted, especially with a 30 level enchant, it's you can't do any better. And this is very similar to some of the other ones. When you break the ore, they'll drop diamonds anywhere between 1 and 3. And then again, with 9 diamonds, you can create a block of diamond for easy storage, or to create pretty things like this. So that is the gamut of ores that we'll find in this game. And again, this is my creative corner, so what I'll do is I'll break it all up and either just get rid of it, or I'll put it all in this chest, so that there's not any worry about me cheating and using this stuff in the game, because I won't use it in the game. This is just as a demonstration for you guys. So I think now we're going to go back, if I can get... That's one of the first things I'm going to do is I'm going to fix this so I don't have to keep going back and forth over it like this. I'll smooth it all out, especially after we do all of our ore run here. And the other nice thing about actually mining and caving is it's nighttime, and it doesn't matter. We're going to be down in the caves, looking for ore, and so it's dark down there. You don't have to worry about it. I think one of the first things I'm going to do is I'm going to need... Oop, I don't need to do that. Lots of sticks, because we're going to be in here getting tons of coal, and we're going to need lots of torches to light up these caves. And we're also going to need it to make more tools, better tools, as we're down there. Let's see here. I've got a couple of iron ingots. And we got that from an earlier episode. We found that near the cave. You saw that when we had to make our shears so that we could shear the sheep and make our bed. But let me think. I think I might also make another furnace to take with us while we're down there. And then I'm going to make another crafting bench. I could take this one with me, but I don't really want to do that. I'm just going to make another one, because as we get down there, we're definitely going to start probably cooking the ores while we're down there, rather than having to run back and forth. But the first thing I wanted to show you was, and this will give you a good idea of how many ore you can get out of just a chunk. This is called a vein of coal, and there's 20 ore in this vein. So let's count this. We're going to use a stone pickaxe to pull all this out. And let's see how many coal we actually get out of this guy. The other neat thing about this caving experience that I'm going to share with you here shortly is I think I'm going to show you, a lot of people that have different ways of going through caves and how they set lights and things like that to help them find their way back, because these caves can get really confusing if you're not paying attention. And so one of the techniques that I like to use is putting torches on a common side all the way down, or whenever I'm exploring a new cave so it's dark and I'm setting torches to find my way around, I will set them all on the right hand side somewhere. And then in places where there's like key intersections, I'll put them straight in the ground, or double torches on the side to indicate where a set of stairs may be going up or down, things like that. So as you can see, we got 20 coal, and we had 20 ore, and we got 20 coal out of that. So our return out of that was not very good. That's the minimum we were probably going to get out of it, and that's probably because we were using a stone pickaxe. And you can also see how quickly that axe was used. So we're going to need to upgrade as quickly as we can. And so as I was clearing out around this, I actually found a little bit of a pocket here, and I went ahead and dug down, and honestly, out of pure luck, I just happened to run into a cave here, and so I figured this would actually be a really good place to start. I haven't explored this yet, other than I went back up here briefly to find out that this was actually the pond that's below our entry, but other than that, nothing too interesting up in this direction. But we probably should go ahead and light it up. So that sort of just defeated my purpose of saying put it on the right hand side, but we're also just starting out. So this is where I'll do 2 torches, indicating that this is where we need to go up. And I need to put another stair here because right now I can't get back up there. So let's grab another piece of cobble here. Oh, I guess actually I had plenty. And let's build a quick set of stairs so I can get out of here if I need to. Alright. That's another good thing to remember while you're down caving, is don't ever get yourself in a situation where you can't get out when you start running into mobs. And so we'll see if we can find a little spot down here where it's like a 2-block drop. So say we'll clear that out, assuming like none of this was here. In fact, we'll just clear it out right now. If I was running back from a mob here and I got stuck here and I couldn't get up, that would be a quick way for a mob to catch me and to take me out. So sometimes it's good just to be a little bit more careful, take a little bit more time, take a few more chunks of cobble out so that you're safe. So here we go. We're going to go on down, setting torches on one side. And so as you see, as I'm going this way, I've gotten so used to it now I don't even pay attention anymore that the torches are on this side, so I know that this is the way I came down. And so that as long as I keep them on my left-hand side, I know I'm working my way back up to where I originally came from. And in this case, I've got 2 torches right there, and cobblestone is a good indicator as well. And I know this is my way out, so that helps me a lot. And then in this case, also it helps that the cave ends shortly after, so it's going to be a lot harder for me to get lost in this case. So there's a little bit more iron. And again, here's what coal looks like in its native habitat, so to speak. We'll get a few more of those guys, and let's just keep on going down. I'm not going to, I probably, for the most part in the series, I'm not going to spend a lot of time showing caving because they can get really boring, and really a lot of it's just working your way through the dark and placing torches and picking out ores. But I think in this case I'm going to spend a little time, and I'm going to try and show you the process of getting down as far as I can into this cave. And if we find ores on this first run, that'll be great. If not, in a little while I'll probably break it up and just do a bit of a montage of me getting every single ore, hopefully, that I can find in the game. If I get them all, that's good, because that means I will have found diamonds relatively quickly. And sometimes it takes a long time to find diamonds, and you end up doing things like strip mining or other things like that. And we'll also show you a number of mining techniques, and this is also pretty helpful too. So you're going to see a lot of this underground water or lava coming out of a source block. This is called a source block right here, and it's just coming out of the side. There's a couple things you can do. You can, maybe on both of these I can show you 2 different alternatives. You can put a piece of any stone or any other block that you want to in there, and it will stop the source block from functioning, and that's how you kind of dry an area up. Because if you're out here in the water and it's just pushing you around, it can make things really slow, and if all of a sudden we had a bunch of mobs coming in here, you'd be fighting the water and the mobs. Another way you can do it actually is with a torch. You can put a torch, boom, right where the source block is, and that stops it as well, and it also gives you the benefit of a quick burst of light. We're about ready to lose our pick here, aren't we? Let's get a few more, at least till it breaks. And let's light this up a little bit. More of these round rooms like this are not uncommon, so this is another thing I'll do is I'll go ahead and add double torches on the sides just to indicate to me that this is a room that I've already looked at, already know things around it, and I can add additional torches if I need to indicate a particular direction that I want to go. Aha, there we go. Wow, this is a pretty big drop down in here. Oh, look at this. Wonderful. You see how deep this is. This is what we officially call a ravine, and sometimes they'll expose themselves on the surface, other times they'll be completely underground. This one happens to be all underground, but it's a ravine, and then it's 30, 40, 50 blocks tall, and a lot of times they'll have lava, which is what this is, and water down in the bottom of them. Maybe not usually that full, but so we're gonna have to dig our way down to get access down to this. So let's show you how to do that. Let's go back here real quick and we'll get some of that ore I've been cooking. Make us a pick real fast. And the other thing I think I'm going to make while I'm doing this is a bucket. And unfortunately I just got rid of all that water, but there's going to be more water. I think we can do this. And I want to show you a couple tricks on how to cave with water. It's actually really handy to learn how to do this. Because you can use water as an elevator to get up and down from these really high heights like this. Let's see, I think I'm going to go ahead and make a chest. Even though we're not very far away from base, we'll kind of create a little bit of a subterranean base camp here. And the reason is if I fall into the lava and die, I don't want to lose all my good stuff here. I've got 9. Let's go ahead and make a few more torches. That should be good. And yeah, I think that should be good for right now. Alright. Now we need to go find some water, hopefully. You know what, actually let's do this real fast. We'll follow my... Wait, was that my backup? No, I haven't been up there yet. Wait, where did I come from? This is, oh, that's right. See how easy it is to get lost? I already know where I am, and I still kind of got lost a little bit. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to run back up here really fast and use my bucket to get some water out of this guy. Can you gotta get it from a source block. There we go. Alright, now we've got a bucket. Let's eat some food real fast on our way down. And now I can show you guys how to get down into these ravines. And I'm hoping there's usually a lot of ore. And the other advantage is, many of these ores occur at different levels. So diamonds, I believe, are level 20 and lower. The easy thing to do to look at this one is to go to a wiki, and you know, a lot of ways I don't like to keep pointing out needing to go to a wiki to find these things, because hopefully you're here watching me do this to learn this stuff. But on the other hand, there's so much you have to know about this game sometimes that's the only way to learn. Oh no, where did that guy come from? Let's protect ourselves a little bit here. Oh, there you are. I did not see him coming, so let's protect ourselves just a little bit. Get ourselves a sword here. Good, he's far enough down, I don't have to worry about it too much. In fact, let's do this. So watch what happens when water hits lava. Let's take that source block back. When water runs over lava, it actually creates obsidian, which we're going to use a lot in the game, and vice versa. When lava runs over water, you can see some over here, it creates cobble. And there's a lot of things you can do with that. One of the advantages of using water to create obsidian with lava is it's another really good way to actually get down and be safe. So watch this. So you can ride the water down. You know what? Actually, I want to take that source block back with me. So let's swim back up a little bit. And no. Alright, so I didn't really want to do it quite like that because this is one of the problems with, oh no. Let's get up on top of this guy. With water, it will push you right out into the lava, so you gotta be really careful. Ooh, jeez. Oh, that creeper sound. Ooh, hey. Well, look at this. Here we got a couple of ores right in here we've been looking for. Well, that's unusual. Alright, let's light some of this up first. I'm losing focus here. We've got enough going on. I gotta make sure I keep us safe so I don't blow up somewhere. Alright. That was funny that we had that's the problem with ravines sometimes is you have all these dark areas up in here, and zombies and creepers and skeletons, they'll fall off these ledges right down on top of you. And that's where that creeper came from. It probably fell from up here somewhere and landed right behind me and then blew up. So anyway, alright. So the other thing I gotta be careful of, man, I really wish I had that water. And so this is one of the things about water is like I see how I can't grab this because it's not a source block. It has to be the original source of the water for it to work. And so the only way for me to get that is to swim up and get it, or get it from somewhere else. I'm gonna have to go kill this guy real fast. Oh, and there we go. I just had to get in the water right there, and so you can continue to flow up it. And see, now I just grabbed the source right there, and now we can ride it all the way down. Ooh, unless we get knocked off by a skeleton. Now I got my water. The reason I needed that is here. I wanted to show you this. So you just set that water down and it will automatically kind of spread out and get rid of that lava, making it easy and safe for you to get through these lower areas like this and quickly find your way through these lower ravines. And you just have to you set the source block down and then you pick it right back up again. And it still spreads out and fills those areas in. And then we're going to go back and get the lapis and the emerald real fast. Alright. And obsidian is another very valuable ore, or not, it's not an ore, it's a block. It's used for portals into the nether and for enchanting tables, and it's also really useful in combination with sticky blocks because it's a block that won't be moved by sticky blocks. But again, that's something we'll probably cover at another time. But the key for this one is you have to have diamond pick to be able to get it. That's the only way you can get it out, really. Realistically, supposedly you could break it with your hand, but it requires something in the neighborhood of 4 minutes of punching per block. And so if you can imagine that you need 10 blocks to make a portal, it would take 40 minutes of constant punching to get the 10 blocks that you needed. So it's better off just using a finding diamond. You'd probably save a lot of time. So okay, just pick these up really fast. Oh, looky there, we even got some redstone. And I think we got just about every ore already but gold and diamonds. So let's just keep picking back in here a little bit. Another good habit to get into is picking back behind things. So even going back here another block or two, because a lot of ores actually have a tendency to kind of occur together. There's no formula or something that I think that's clearly delineates when you should dig back behind other ores that you've just pulled out, but it's a good habit to get into. So there's redstone, so you can see it broke in this case. Let's see what we got. We got 5 out of that 1. And so 3, 4, so we had 4 total. There's 5. This is a bad thing to do right there, and don't do what I just did. That's a great way to fall into a pit of lava. But look at that, out of 6 blocks of redstone we got 29 individual redstone pieces, so that's pretty good. And here's our emerald. Most often they'll only drop 1, but every now and then, especially with a fortune pick, they'll drop more. How many do we get out of that one? So 4 lapis. So not a lot, but you can get a lot more than that typically out of there. Oh, looky there, we got some gold. Now chances are, with lava right here and the fact that I just filled this in with water, that there's going to be lava directly underneath that gold. So one of the things you can do is you can actually pick to the side of it, because if I pick that over gold, we'd likely lose it. Oh, so we're lucky there. Boom, there we go. Alright. And so as you can see, we've got ore in that case again, or the ore block as opposed to the ore ingots that you will get out of it when we cook it. Oh, look at that, holy cow. Alright, let's light some of this area up just a little bit. It's starting to get a little dark. Alright. Alright, we've reached the end of this ravine on this side. And it didn't even take that long. Let's go back down through here. We got coal. And, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead and light up more of these caves. I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time on camera doing this now because it's kind of repetitive, takes a long time, and but what I will do is I will keep a lookout for diamonds and more gold, and I might go ahead and do a montage of me finding more of these ores the rest of the way through. So I'll tell you what, we're going to go ahead and cut out, and we'll be back in a little bit, hopefully with some more interesting ores. Thanks. More iron. Oh, and what's that green stuff right over there? Hey, emeralds. Emeralds. Nice. Coal. I could always use more coal. It's a deep vein of coal. Redstone. Another emerald. Yes. Coal. Redstone. More redstone. More redstone. Redstone. Iron. More iron. I could always use more iron. But there's also an emerald. Yay, more emeralds. Now, I just have to show you guys this because I'm really actually kind of surprised. So, look at this little area here. I've got lapis right here, gold, coal, iron, emerald, 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 coal, iron. I don't think I've ever seen 3 emeralds like this. On top of it, I already got 5. I don't think I've ever gotten near this many emeralds in one caving trip before. So I just had to show you. That's pretty amazing. Emeralds. Alright guys, I'm back. I've just finished one, I would say, pretty good, decent round of caving down there. And man, there's a lot down there still to explore, but I wanted to show you the basic haul that I got from down there. I pulled everything up from that room that I was kind of using as my staging area, and apart from some other some iron that I had to smelt to make another pickaxe, and you can see I even went through a whole nother iron axe in my endeavors down there. It looks like I've got almost 2 stacks of iron, including a couple that I've smelted. I need to make a new sword. That's kind of why I quit caving, because I used the last of my sword and almost died. So I just came up and put all my stuff away, and I'm getting ready to smelt all my iron. But you can see I got 2 stacks of coal. Not a lot of gold. Normally you get more down there than I got. But didn't find that much. Actually, I'm surprised. I found a lot more emeralds than I thought I would down there. That's by far the most I think I've ever gotten on any caving trip. I don't know that I've ever even found 12 emeralds on a server before. But anyway, that's a pretty good haul from that standpoint. You can see I got 18 blocks of redstone, so you imagine that times 9. I got probably a good 4 stacks of redstone before I converted it over to blocks. Pretty good supply of lapis lazuli. That's enough for some pretty good enchanting once we get going. But all in all, the only thing I didn't get was any diamonds, and that's I didn't do any branch mining or anything like that, or not branch mining, strip mining. I guess in this case branch mining. That's usually where you'll create a little branch. You can see here I started doing a branch out in that direction. It's very similar. It's 2 blocks high, and you do one kind of shaft. Maybe I'll run down there and show you really quick what that looks like once I get my iron cooking here. So the idea is that if your feet were standing at 11 and your eye height was at 13, what you would do is you would be able to do a branch mine, and you just go straight like this for as many blocks as you really felt like you wanted to go. You can go several hundred blocks or thousands really if you wanted to. Do I have any? Let's go ahead and make a couple of torches real fast, just to give you an idea. And then maybe every 10 blocks or so, just put a torch on the wall, and you just keep going like this. And it can get pretty monotonous, but a lot of people really feel like it's a good technique for finding a lot of ores, because what you do is you'll go do one branch, and a lot of times I'll do 20 or 30 blocks, and then you'll move over 2 blocks and start another one. Of course, my pick just died. Oh, come on. Ugh. All right, well, let's go make another one. You can continue every 2 blocks. You just create another mine, and the idea is that you can see with this branch, you can see the block above you, the blocks obviously on either side, and 1 block below you. So I'll just clear that out of the way. And then when you come over here and you do, you won't do this. I'm just doing this to show illustratively what's happening here. From this branch, you see these 2 blocks, 1 above and 1 below, and so the idea is within this section you've seen every block. You don't have to clear every block. You're being more efficient, because if there was a coal block right here, you would see it and you could mine it out, and conversely, if it was 1 block next to it over there, you could see it from either side. And so a lot of people mine in this manner. I actually go 1 more block. I'll do 3 blocks in between, just as an example, partly because a lot of the ores don't occur in just 1 block or 1 plane. Even diamonds are going to be 2 blocks wide or 2 blocks tall or something like that, and so you cut down tremendously on the amount of blocks you clear by doing this, and without really losing a whole lot in the way of potentially seeing ore. And I did a study. In fact, maybe what I'll do is at the bottom of this, I'll put a link to a little analysis I did for mining. It was probably 6 months or so ago, but I'll go ahead and include a link to it here on YouTube, and that way you can go take a look at it. But I think that's going to be it for today. We focused a lot on, of course, caving and all the ores that you can collect in the game, and all the what you can build with a lot of those ores. And we'll continue showing what those things are in the future as our series goes on. And maybe next time we'll focus a little bit more on armor, on armoring ourselves up, and maybe going and looking for diamonds so we could start thinking about enchanting some stuff, and really getting ourselves geared up to be able to start exploring the world and building outside of our little hidey hole. In fact, I'll probably even clean up our hidey hole a little bit whilst I'm at it. And yeah, there you go. We'll see you next episode. I hope this has been useful. If it is, throw a like or a subscribe on there, and we'll keep going on to the next episode for here soon. Thanks a lot very much, and we'll see you soon. Bye-bye.